Do you guys know what this concept of a PMO is? This project management office. It's been talked about. I think like they're trying it in and it's kind of a corporate thing. But generally speaking, a PMO can be lots of things, but it's basically a group or a place that develops, houses, and deploys things like tools, standards, guidelines, right? And all those things can reside, let's say, on a website or something, but there has to be some ownership over that, right? And somebody who's able to help connect dots around when certain tools really should be used, or is a good opportunity to use, or identify gaps where we do need a better process, things like this. So this idea of a PMO, it doesn't mean it's one person. It means that within our PIQAL unit, there is this kind of space carved out around tools and processes to improve our efficiency, right? So the idea is that we have working groups that are at the top, you see here at the top of this diagram, and that kind of are embedded across or engage in some way sort of across these different bands, or affect the way that we do our work in these different bands. Hopefully makes it more effective and efficient. So this kind of idea, this kind of PMO thing is to be a resource to the organization. But since we're not in a place where we have like all these manuals and tools and stuff. Sometimes they're scattered across different places in the organization. We just know we want to improve in those areas. So we're thinking about using working groups.
I like working groups.
Thank you. We should name it. We should name it.
PIQAL.
He's shouting out.
Oh my God,
he's recruiting for his working group.
He's doing a pep rally for us.
So this idea, of having this something like a PMO, it plays a communication, capacity strengthening, and coaching role. So the idea is that we can help to raise awareness around these tools, deploy these tools, help to strengthen capacity around using them. Helps to capture institutionalized best practices so we don't reinvent the wheel, right? And it really is intended to create a more efficient and enabling environment. Help us do our work better. If we do this, if we are able to find some way to move this agenda forward, it should have a trickle-down effect in terms of how efficiently we're able to support our projects, right? If it doesn't do that, then we're not doing it the right way, right? So, the way we're going to try to advance this agenda as incrementally and with baby steps as much as possible is to form working groups, right? So we have working groups in these 6 areas that represent the focus areas of PIQAL, right? And some of the activities that a working group may choose to pursue, right, can be all sorts of stuff. But they can include things like developing or helping to develop or coordinating a process to develop organization-wide standards. I am a big fan of the CRS meal standards. I think we should have some kind of organization-wide meal standards for PCI. So could a working team for meal help to either coordinate or lead a process to help us develop those standards, for example? Standardizing a process or a tool, right? So the PIMS task force is helping to formalize a process around the selection and approval of various information system software, right? That's standardizing a process. Sometimes it may not be developing new things, but helping to compile, collect, organize, right? Existing tools that might be scattered around, or even within our team might be residing within our OneDrives or something that need to be brought together and made into a little toolkit or something, right? Maybe within our particular area we want to conduct an assessment or do a mapping exercise because we want to identify where those gaps and bottlenecks are. That could be something that the working group can take on. Organizing a knowledge sharing event around that particular area, right? Conducting a training or delivering a webinar, forming a community of practice or a listserv, developing job aids, right? Or maybe you want to add a page to our PIQAL Teams site that's for mobile technology or for something else, right? So these are just examples of activities that are intended to help improve the efficiency of how we work and institutionalize good practice and create an enabling environment. So it doesn't mean we have to take everything at once. It means that within our ability, we want to try to incrementally move forward these kinds of things, right?